Okay.
Welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good evening, everyone. It's DJ Kitty. I'm here with my co-host for the evening, Mrs. Jack. Mrs. Morningstar is away, but she will be joining us as soon as she can. What is today? Today is Wednesday. Happy
Wednesday.
Wednesday. How are you today, Mrs. Jack?
I'm good. I always have to remember what day it is. It's
Yeah.
crazy because, one of the things that when I first retired, I used to forget the days because every day felt like Saturday. So
I
it's
mean,
just,
that's a good problem to have, and it's a little bragging if you ask
I'm
me.
sorry. I'm not trying to.
It's all good. It's a little bragging. Just a tad bit of bragging, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. It's Wednesday. I
It is
feel great.
Wednesday, February the 12th.
12. Yes.
Yes, February 12th. Today's been a long day for me. I've had a long day on my black job, and so I'm here with you all this evening. It's good to see everyone. If you can, share out the live, share out the stream, please, and invite others in. We would love that. We're going to start the evening with an affirmation. And I got it from my good sis, Miss Morningstar. So let's get this rolling. Okay, so darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only hate can do that. And that came from Martin Luther King. In our appreciation of Black History quote unquote month, but for me it's Black History 365. Since folks don't want us to celebrate it at all, I say we celebrate it all the time now. I say
Every
that 365 days works for me because I am Black 365. So why not celebrate it
Exactly.
365? Did you ever ask for 28 days to celebrate anything, Mrs. Jack?
How about how about if we could just use 28 days to only have to pay bills?
That would
Since
be
we're
nice.
only Black in February, so we should
Okay,
only
since
pay bills in February.
yeah, that works for me. I can only pay bills in February, since we're gonna do, throw out anything, since this administration just
Since
wants to
we're
throw out
making stuff
anything,
up,
let's,
right?
let's just throw it out there, 365. You know, I mean, why
That's so
not?
ridiculous. Doesn't it sound ridiculous? That's
It
how the
is
rest of it sounds.
ridiculous. It is
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Jesus.
Let me fix my camera right quick. Just go ahead. Let me go ahead and just bring myself a little bit closer. I feel like I'm so far away. I'm so far away
I
from
feel
you.
like I'm close and you're back.
There we
There
go.
you go.
That's a lot better. That's a whole lot better. I felt like I was in Egypt somewhere. So we do have some news today. Let's
Oh,
go ahead and get into the news.
okay.
So this just came in. I just saw this come over the wire. And the one thing that I've noticed about this, these last 3 weeks is every day, all day, we get breaking news. And 4 years of this, we'll have plenty of content. We'll
Can
have
we
plenty
make
of
it
things.
4 years? I mean,
I mean,
the
I
content will
mean,
not stop contenting as long as we have who we have. That is, like you said, it's always breaking news. And I have CNN on drop down from my phone. I see breaking news at like
all day,
all times of the day.
all day.
And it's always not something good. And I mean,
It's
can I
it,
can
it
be
hasn't been
something
anything
good?
good. It hasn't been anything good. Well, I I will say the best of the news that I've captured just for today, just a tad bit.
Mm.
Understand, folks, it's just a little bit. It's not a lot. But we have Musk staffer mistakenly given ability to edit Treasury payments.
You know what's crazy?
What's crazy?
The word mistake.
I mean, is it a mistake though?
You're mistakenly given permission to get in. A lot of steps has to happen to be able to log into certain systems, right? You can't
Yeah,
mistakenly be given access to something like
yeah.
that. So something must have
Mistakenly.
gone wrong and they said it was a mistake.
It's the 25-year-old, the one who resigned last
Oh,
week,
oh
the one
yes.
that got hit up because they found out that he was making racial comments and just
Hmm.
being
You
a
see what
racist
JD Vance said about him?
POS. Yeah, it's okay. Don't want to ruin his life.
Kid. And remember they
He's a
called him a
kid.
kid because
You're
he's
25
21.
years old.
It's not a kid.
Who's a kid is the 9-year-old that they executed, or the 11-year-old that they executed. That was a kid. This is a 25
It was
year
a,
old
it
who's
was a
on
kid that
social, who's using his thumbs as a weapon and terrorizing people of color. But the one that resigned, he mistakenly
there's
got
no way.
into the payment system. The
No,
courts found out yesterday on
there's no way.
Tuesday, and according to them, the error was quickly corrected. But how do we know that? Because I think that they were asking Elonia about transparency, and I don't believe anything that they say. I don't believe Trump. I don't believe
Not one
not
iota.
no, not
No,
one
they probably
word.
logged in long enough to download some information and then
It,
booted him back
oh,
off.
it was. I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to get in there.
Is this the Treasury?
The Treasury Department,
No,
the
I don't
payment
believe.
system of the
I don't believe.
This makes me scratch my forehead. The payment system of the Treasury. You mistakenly got into that. Okay,
Again, the amount of steps it takes to even, you know,
get into there.
you have to have clearances as well, right?
These children's don't have
Yes.
any type of clearance.
No.
They're just
Neither
out
does
here.
Muscatel.
No, no clearance at all, but
No.
has the audacity to actually go in and shut down. And as our good brother Darren says, there's no way in the world I would allow you to come into my office and tell me that you're going to plug up anything and for me to, baby, the way I would have escorted you by your collar up,
Thank you.
get on up out my office now,
Please
sir.
leave before I have you
I don't
escorted
think
out
I
of
would say.
here.
I don't think I would have said please. I don't think please would have been in my vocabulary at
Yeah.
all. It would have been some choice words that I choose not to say here because I demur.
Because where's
Okay,
the Capitol? Where's the police?
where's
Where's the
security?
security? Where's the security? Because somebody let him into the building, let him into the location in the office, let him into the computer.
How I need the people that work at these institutions to explain to the American public, how does this even happen?
What
But
accident?
walk me through walking into your office, me walking in and saying, hey, I'm here with Elania and I'm here to plug up this little flash drive and get into the payment system by mistake. I'm here to do it though. I need you to understand that I'm here to do it.
And I need
Yes.
access.
I need access immediately, regardless to whatever
And
y'all
my little
got going
friend need
on.
access too.
Yeah, me and my homeboy back here.
Yeah, yeah.
No, neither one of us. No, we
We ain't
don't
got no
have
clearance.
security.
We ain't got no
No,
reason to be here. We
no,
just
but
want to
we're
be let
here.
in.
We're here. No, I'm only 19. I'm only 20. I'm a child, but I'm gonna get into the system because
I'm befuddled. This is my
we
favorite
all
word
are
for that.
flabbergasted. Okay, my pearls are clutched. I
Okay.
probably ripped them off by now because what?
Yeah, that's not a mistake. That's just something to tell the people who are already gullible enough to believe everything they say. But there's a lot of steps that happen when, you know how people say it was an accident when you cheated. A lot of steps
No,
had to happen for an accident for that to happen,
because
right?
nobody just accidentally
Don't
cheats. No,
fall into it.
no,
Exactly. You didn't.
nobody, and you don't accidentally walk into somebody's office and take your little flash drive and plug it in and accidentally get into the payment system and accidentally, but the error was quickly corrected. How
We
was
need
it
a
quickly
lawsuit.
corrected?
We need a lawsuit because
Class
we
action.
need this. We need this error specified exactly what
What steps?
information was given out. What did
And
they
what
get
did he
access
capture?
to? Mhm,
Yes. We need some answers,
mhm,
Treasury Department.
mhm.
We
And I'm
need
pretty
some
sure I get
answers.
paid from some of them people. So did y'all get my information? I'm pretty sure. And they were so worried about TikTok getting out information. You handed it over
You
to
handed it. You said, "Come on in.
these people. So it couldn't
Just
have
come
been
on in."
TikTok. That could
Mm-mm.
not have been the security risk that you keep calling it.
No,
No.
how's it a security risk when you're letting children come in and do whatever they want to do? But
Not a regular child. And we're saying child because he's 25. They called him a child. But
he's not a
someone
child.
that had a past history of racism. And you're saying you're
Exactly.
not going to ruin his life over some young tweets. Like, okay, but you will let him in, knowing his background and his mindset, and give him
Exactly.
access to people's information. Thanks you.
And
That
and
makes
and
sense.
just come on in. Come on in.
It's
Get you
open
some
today.
coffee. The coffee machine is over there. Get you some coffee. Come on in.
Well, they
Plug it
said
in.
January 6th was just a regular tourist
It
visit.
was a
So
it
that's
was a
that
it
level
was
of
a
delusion.
peaceful visit.
Yes. Yes.
The level of crazy, and then
Delusion.
there seems to be a budget now, but it's got trillions in tax and spending cuts. $4.5 trillion in tax cuts.
From where?
What do you think? Just
Medicaid
just
is what
just
I saw today.
just pull it out the air. They just you know
Medicaid, everything people need is where they're taking it from. Things that we
everything.
don't need, they are just keeping all of those things. So let's
Yes.
see, what do the people need? I really think they have a list of what do people need. Okay, they need
And
Medicaid
take that away.
from them. Yeah, yeah,
Take
yeah.
that away.
Some people need SNAP benefits
Nope.
for assistance.
Take that away.
That costs too much money. Take that,
Yeah.
but
They
let's
don't People don't
build.
need to eat. People don't need to
But
eat.
let's build a random park with statues that I want in it.
Let's go to the Super Bowl for $15 million and then leave
Halfway through.
halfway through.
Talk about wasteful spending, Doge. That is supposed to be. I don't like saying his name. That is supposed to be his main job. Department of Government something. He's supposed to
Spending.
find spending, expenditures, whatever he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be finding where
He's
they
doing
are
it all right.
wasting money.
He's
But
finding
sir,
it all right.
it's coming from inside the room. Call is coming from inside the house. You got it right in front of you. So were you really
Leopard,
brought on to do this job or not?
leopard meat face.
HIPAA, be
Because
critical.
critical. I mean,
It's
it's beyond our understanding as American people, as citizens who pay their taxes. You
yeah.
know, who
Is that not wild?
it's insane at
Would
this
this
point.
happen
Um,
4 to 8 years ago? Would this happen?
Imagine if it were. I think I heard this on Itchy's live today. Imagine if it were Joe Biden and Hunter Biden
Oh,
out
oh
there.
no, because that's too much like right. They would have
I
had real
mean,
reasons then. But you see, they treated them as if they had done something like this. These people are running rampant around the whole government, and
just willy nilly, just out
it's
there,
it's allowed somehow
just doing whatever they want to do, how they want to do it, with whomever they want to do it, and
with
nobody's
no
supposed to say
repercussions.
anything.
With
Nobody's
no
supposed to say anything.
repercussions.
Uh-uh.
No.
It's status quo. This is what's supposed to happen. This is just the norm.
Yep.
Oh, it's no big deal. Yeah, of course, they're supposed to just get into our system.
Of
What
course.
kind of craziness is that? Of
How
course,
could
they're
that not
supposed
be
to be
allowed?
able.
It's just like coming to my house or you come with me and get in my car and go to the bank, and you go and ask these people about my bank account, and they just let you in and be like, oh, well, they look nice. We just told them everything. We gave them what they wanted.
Yeah, they look like upstanding citizens.
Good people. They look good.
They look like good people.
Yeah.
Good white people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No
that's
issues.
how delusional it sounds.
Yeah. No issues. Why is everyone upset? They look like good, wholesome boys.
They would never do anything wrong.
But then you've got all these tax cuts and spending cuts, and you're cutting away at our government.
But
you're cutting away at, I'm sorry.
Who are they for?
Yes.
The tax cuts are not for us.
Yes, it's not for us. It has nothing to do with us,
right,
sis. It has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with the fact that people think that they can do what they want to do at the expense of the American people. And the American people are just supposed to say, oh, okay, great. Trump said.
He said it, so it's true.
And he's a businessman, and Elania is a businessman, and I'm over it. I'm not understanding what any of this even means. I'm not understanding why anyone would even pretend that this is okay.
And poor little Jasmine Crockett fighting her little heart out with the rest of some of the tough talking Democrats. They over here still trying to do business. You got the judges are constantly trying to fight the things that he keeps signing.
Hey, Darian.
Because it's just like a kid. When you give a kid a bunch of crayons and a piece of paper, they are going to draw like crazy. And it's like somebody gave him a pen.
And he's just coloring.
Sign
He's just going in. He's gonna do whatever it is that he can do and get away with. But I will say this: when he sat at his desk and Elania in his demon seed.
Did you see the lip reading one where they said what the little
boy told him to? I want you to shut.
He said, "You are not the president. You should shut the F up."
And
what?
Trumpy just sat there and looked at him. And I know he's embarrassed.
I know he heard him.
You know he heard him. We heard him. I could hear it. Just like I heard them boos that Fox News tried to drown out. I heard those boos, baby. That was the boos of the nation. He heard those boos as well.
Exactly.
He can try and, fake the funk all he wants, but he heard those boos. We heard those boos.
But you notice the ones they showed and what they didn't show. They showed the world, and this is part of how they kind of drive the media, right? The reason that they think Black people are commit the most crime is because they constantly showed them. So they don't think he was booed because they only showed them booing and him talking about them booing Taylor Swift. They cut out. They never showed him getting booed because they're bought too, sir. Yes, they want to drive and control what we see so that because they know their base they don't research anything. So that's how he continues to keep them. Did you hear
the ones that were on Zeus's live this morning? That right there.
No, I missed it.
It was a mess. I used to feel sorry for him, but at this point it's 3 weeks in. And if you're not affected by now and you're acting as if you don't understand or it's just not happening or it's not real, please understand it's real and it's happening and it's going to affect you whether you want to stay in denial or not. You can just, you can continue to lie to yourself. But when your kids are looking at you, yes, when your kids are looking at you because they're hungry or, you can't pay your mortgage or you can't pay your bills, or you can't buy eggs, or you can't put gas in the car or you lose your job,
right?
Then I guess you'll say,
buying gas or food,
I guess
Yeah.
that's when it'll dawn on you, I suppose.
It has to hit
Um,
them in the face, and then it has to hit hard enough to where they will admit it, because some of it is hitting them in the face. They're realizing, hey, this affects me too, but they're still not bold enough to come out and say, I was wrong. This is affecting me and my family, because they have to keep that facade up that, hey, we voted for the right person. And
but
it's
even with the slap in the face,
wrong.
they just don't. I have seen the videos of people saying they regret their votes, but
I
you
saw that.
know, you know,
But you can't
what good?
you
It's
can't
too
take
late
it
now.
back. Like, what does it matter for you to say now? I don't,
The
can I change
toothpaste is
my
out the
vote?
tube.
The damage is done. It is
What you gonna
done.
do now?
What are we
But
supposed to do?
let me make you laugh. Musk also claims that there are 150-year-olds that are getting SSI.
I saw that. You know what's crazy? There
What?
were people in the comments when I saw that post on social media. There were people in the comments that said, and I quote, "Well, that makes sense since there were dead people voting." They know when they said it. Then he came and backtracked. You know what he said after that?
What he
He said,
says is
"There's going to be things that I'm going to get wrong. There's
like
going to be things
everything.
that I'm going to say that's going to be wrong. I don't have all the information."
But you're sending
What?
people to
You
space.
are standing next to the president at a press conference, and you said that out your mouth.
And why are you talking? In the 4 years that we've watched Frumpy, has anybody ever talked when he was doing a press conference besides him?
No,
Oh,
they barely let in the room. How do you come in there with your child?
him sharing the spotlight is hilarious.
It was.
One more thing before we go to commercial. The
It was.
Dems have reintroduced reparations um, bill that we refuse to be silent. And I will
Oh,
say this to the Dems: you just keep on trying, keep on
yeah,
trying, keep
because we
on
know where
trying,
it's going and where it's
because
not
it's
going.
not going anywhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere. I mean, it's cute that y'all did that. Maybe have some behind the scenes talks about how y'all gonna get this administration up out of here. Do that. We
We don't
want
even care about
our
reparations.
reparations,
We would
but
rather
right
have him
now
impeached. Yeah,
we need him up out of there because
yeah.
he's trying to hurt everybody,
Everybody.
everybody, everything,
Everybody.
everyone. And
Nobody's
then
safe. No.
nobody's safe. And I need my white tea sisters and brothers and white tea folks out here that voted for him to understand you're not safe either. You're not safe.
Not
We're
at
going to
all.
go ahead and go to commercial. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection, brought to you by our sister station, WKRA 92.7, as well as our other station, WHGE 95.3. We will be right back after this beautiful commercial.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC takes custom to a whole new level. You are guaranteed to find a gift for that special someone or even a customized gift for yourself. So head on over to my Etsy shop, Sparkle Kicks LLC, and start your personalized order today. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Have a great day.
I love that commercial.
Me too.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. You're
Y'all
so
didn't know I hate
talented.
my voice. I really
I
do.
don't know why your voice is beautiful, but let's go ahead and bring I Said What I Said on up. She's joining us tonight, and then we are going to hop into mental health. Oh, and we've got Yvonne here. So we're all going to hop on the panel. I'm going to add you ladies to the stage.
What a
Don't
beautiful
want you guys.
picture.
Isn't that a beautiful picture? And we're
Yes.
going to go ahead and kick off mental health. Hey, ladies.
Hello, ladies.
Hey y'all.
Oh,
How you ladies doing tonight?
wonderful.
Doing good. Doing good. In spite of. In
And
Yes.
under
spite
the
of everything.
circumstances.
Right, that
Yes.
part.
I
Yeah,
mean,
this climate is a hot, holy heck mess.
it
This is a
is.
mess that we're going
Ditto.
through right now. A
Ditto.
hot mess.
A hot.
Every day, it seems like every day is something different.
breaking
Like I
Absolutely.
get
news.
up in the morning, I get up in the morning. I be like, okay, what did they do overnight this time? Like it's a circus.
What
It's a
next
circus.
is what I say. What next? What could he possibly do next? And then I told myself, stop saying what next because it's draining me. So I don't I need some inspiration, Mrs. Jack. I need you to help me with my mental because every single day
Hmm.
we are dealing with the crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and go on mute and I'm gonna go ahead and let you start. Go ahead,
Okay.
sis.
So one quote that I have is, do not go above and beyond for people anymore. We have to meet them as far as they meet us. Speak to them as much as they speak to you, and include them as much as they include you. Sometimes we go so far above and beyond, and we spend all this energy trying to help others. Like you give so much, you work all day, you deal with the kids, you come home, you still have time to get on the phone. And what can I do for you? And what can I do for this person? We get burnt out. This is not the time to get burnt out. Right now, we got to hold all our Jesus in and try to control what we have left. But you cannot do that if you're still trying to go above and beyond and do more for somebody than what they're willing to do for you. This is the year of meeting people where they are and realizing that after this election, they showed us everybody's not on our side. A lot of them are actually against us. So people have lost family members over the election, and just finding out people's different values are, different. They don't align. So stop giving more of yourself than you're getting in return, and then you'll start realizing who's really there for you, you know
You're
in
right.
your corner when you need something. I used to tell people on my live, like, the quickest way to get people to stop asking you for money is to ask them first,
It's the best
and
way to
then
do
that will
it.
help you weed out that don't need to be there.
So, what do you do in a situation where, okay, you don't want to break that relationship, but you want them to do better? Is there, what would you suggest that you do? You don't want to, you know, conti-
I'm always about
completely
conversation. I'm always
have a
conversation is like
conversation.
number one in my house. Conversation is with everybody. And I think the problem some people have with having conversations is when I'm talking to you, like, I don't want to hurt your feelings. If I love you, I care about you, I still want to have a good relationship with you after I say what I need to say. But for some people, they feel like if they tell them the whole truth, it's going to hurt their feelings. So they hold back. They don't give
Mhm.
people the full truth, and that's what they needed. So when you have the conversation, you got to really think about where you're having the conversation at. If you're in a room full of people, this is not the time to have an important conversation with somebody when there's a lot of commotion and a
Absolutely.
lot of chatter around, But my best quality is being honest. You can
Yeah,
only get an honest reaction from the truth.
that's true. That's true. It's hard to walk away from some situations, especially if it's, say you're married, and that's the toughest one. It's one thing when it's your girlfriends or your guy friends, but if this is your spouse
Oh, yeah.
and you're having those situations, um that's tough.
It is, but the same thing applies.
You're right.
Because with a marriage, your spouse is even more specific because you're not supposed to be telling anybody else but that person. That's that one person you speak to. Unless you guys go to marriage counseling and go see your pastor, the only people you're supposed to talk to about your relationship and your marriage is your spouse. So they already know your habits. They already know when something's wrong. He done picked up on it if something is
Yeah.
already, because he's your husband and he's been around you for how long? 21 years.
Honey, I'm not talking about me. I'm just speaking in
I'm just,
general. I'm not
for
talking about
example,
you at
right?
all.
So they can pick up on it, but you
Hmm.
just tell them, hey, baby, after dinner, we need to find some time so we can have a conversation. Don't do like people do me, like text you, we need to talk. Because that is the scariest feeling in the world.
Yeah,
We need to talk.
absolutely.
So you got
You
to pick
never
and
know what's
choose how to
coming.
say it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I said spouse. Now what about your children? What if you've got I can see under 18, but what about these adult children who for whatever reason can't function without
Function.
mom or dad,
The mama's
getting those
boys
phone
and
calls. Hey, mom, what's my social? Or the doctor wants to know my blood type, or do I give him my birthday? Or,
that's on the parents. You have to prepare your kids when
that's
they are
true.
teenagers for when they're going to be an adult. Okay. Now I know some parents, they hide the birth certificate under the mattress. If you give it to your kids, they absent minded, they're going to lose it. That's automatic.
I
So
still got
you
my kids'
hold
birth
it.
certificates. I don't care.
You hold it. You may be the safest place for it, but you got to teach them their social security number at least. But you
Oh,
start
yeah.
giving them 16, I think around 16, you start giving them little responsibilities. You call and make your appointment, and I'll sit here with you on the phone
Yeah.
to make sure you give them the right information. But you got to prepare them to go out into the world to be adults, just like you teach them budgeting and you teach them how to pay bills. You got to teach them little jokers how to be self-sufficient, talking and speaking for themselves and doing for themselves. So
Absolutely.
show them how to grocery shop. It ain't all
Yeah.
about the snacks. It's not
Oh,
all
yeah.
about the stuff you like to eat. You got to cook. You got to teach them how to cook. So
Yeah.
it's just multifaceted with children.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I want to speak to my guest or our guest out in on YouTube, T Wiz and Powerful Black Woman. I see you out there. Thank you so much for joining. So that's some good information. Okay, so we've done spouse, we've done children. What about parents?
Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. Now, parents are a different story because I'm your mama.
Yeah.
I'm your daddy.
Can't tell me
You
what to
don't
do.
tell
I
me what
had
to
you.
do. Absolutely. So you got
Man,
to
raising my
tiptoe.
mama was so hard. Raising my daddy, oh my
What?
goodness, raising my daddy was a mess. Because
It's
he
a,
wouldn't listen to nothing.
but he's a
Absolutely
man.
nothing.
He's a man. You got to start right there. They stubborn and they're set in their ways. And he was older. This man was in the military. So you're not going to
Couldn't tell him
untrain
nothing
him.
though.
You're not going to
Driving
undaddy your daddy.
driving in the middle of one of the busiest streets in Houston, Texas, on his scooter with his dog next to him and the police driving behind him, and he drove all the way to the house and did not care.
No.
My mother on the phone with me talking about he done did it again. So that means he's done it more than once.
And
Could
how
not.
you going to stop him?
And not only was my daddy in the military, he was also in law enforcement. So couldn't nobody tell him nothing.
But you can still have conversations with him. Now, with your
I did.
daddy, we don't know how far it's going to go, but at least he heard it. And that's one of the things I tell people too.
Yeah.
You might not like it, but you heard it. So you cannot unhear it. I say what I got to say. Nah, daddy or mama. We need to have a conversation about you trying to tell my kids what to do. When I tell them to do something, you tell them to do something else. No, we can't have that. I got to be the parent. You got to be the grandparent, which is probably a hard conversation anyway.
It is.
But at least they heard that part. They might not listen. But what you going to do about it?
My daddy didn't listen. My daddy, God rest his soul, that man had a mind of his own. I miss my daddy so much. And my mama, I miss him dearly.
Okay.
My mama would listen though. Come on,
But how
Yvonne,
tough is it
you can
talking?
talk.
But how tough is it talking to parents like Miss Yvonne?
Well, it's tough, and I think the older you get, the more stubborn and pig-headed you get too. So I remember, yeah, seriously,
That's
because
true.
my mom got like that as she got older, and then she started having her health problems, and we were trying to
Mm-hmm.
help her with her health issues. She would not hear any of it. Like, mom, you cannot have salt. Well, I don't care what you all say. Give me the damn salt. I want the salt. Give it to me, or I'm not gonna eat. They get very stubborn as they get older, and we can just give her the salt.
Yeah,
Here, there
because
you
their
go. I
mindset
mean,
is,
what am I gonna do?
it
I
took me
want you
out
to
the
be
nest.
happy.
Right. Right. You trying to tell them because you
Hmm.
feel you love them. So you trying to say
Hmm.
it. So at least I told you your blood pressure already up here, mama. How
You,
about
Hmm.
just a little bit then? How about not so much salt? But I'm your mama. I don't want that
I'm your
bland
mama.
food. I want some salt. It's a,
She'll be like, girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere, girl, go sit down somewhere. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a grown woman. And she's called me, girl, go sit down somewhere. I got this under control. You just go sit down and mind your business. I'm like, oh God, Jesus, I'm not gonna argue with this woman.
you're
I'm
gonna
not
Yeah,
gonna
always
argue with
give
her.
your baby to your
parents.
mom.
Yeah, the
Miss, I
parent.
said what
Mm.
I said. What about you?
Well, I didn't get to experience that because my mom passed when I was 35. So
Oh
Oh, I'm
wow, I'm
sorry to
sorry
hear
to hear
yeah,
that.
that.
so she passed early, but
Hmm.
she started listening to me when I was a teenager because I was just so, you know,
Vocal.
vocal and just never a kid. I was always grown for some reason.
Some of them
And
come out like that.
Yeah.
huh? Yeah, I've never really kind of experienced childhood because
Mhm.
I don't know, I was just very responsible and very grown as a kid.
Hmm.
And so by the time I became a teenager, she was asking me questions. And,
Like
and
advice.
yeah, she would ask me for advice and she would actually listen, because I guess it was pretty good advice or
She
something. I
listen.
don't
Hmm.
know. Yeah, she actually listened.
I
And
don't even
some
know what that means.
Yeah, and some things she didn't know. Sometimes, and it's like a double-edged sword though, because
Hmm.
when you allow a child to be, to give you advice like that, then they try to take over. So then she
Hmm.
would have to say,
Hmm.
go somewhere and sit down. I'm running this house, not you. And so
You done
she
gave me all this leeway.
yeah, you gave me all of this responsibility and leeway. And then when you leave the home, I'm in charge. And
Yeah.
so, and it got to the point to where my siblings were listening to me more than they were listening to her. So she had to get everybody straight and, let us know who was in
I'm your
charge.
mama. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I
Well,
run this house, not y'all, not her. I do allow her to be in charge when I'm gone, but when I get back,
Mhm.
I'm in charge. I'm the I see.
yep.
And so, and the ironic part of it is I had an older sister.
Yeah. I have an
Yeah, my
older sister
You were
yeah,
the
also. I'm
responsible
bossy.
one though.
yeah,
Are
Yeah.
you a
my sister.
Capricorn?
No, I'm a Gemini, but my sister was
Okay.
older than me, but she never wanted to take the mantle. So I just took it and ran with it. So,
My
I
but
can
mama's a
understand
Gemini.
that.
I do have to take care. I am taking care of my auntie right now, and she's in her upper 80s,
Mhm.
Okay.
and
That's right.
but she's a Gemini, so we understand each other,
Yeah.
Can
and
y'all
I
talk to
yeah.
my mama?
Yeah, yeah. And so I know how hard-headed she can be, and
Oh,
she know how strong-minded I am, but I also know her strong mind too. So when I talk to her, this
mhm.
is the way that I tell her. I say, "Well, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but what I want to do is give you the facts and give you the consequences. And you
Hmm.
make the decision on what you want to do, and me and her get along just fine." Because I don't try
I'm
to
gonna
tell her
try that.
what to do, but I suggest what she should do, but I let her ultimately make the choice.
Right.
And I just let her know the consequences of her choice. And we get along fine that way.
You gonna try that, Mrs. Jack?
I'm gonna try that. My mama's a
Yeah.
That's the
Gemini. Her
best thing to
birthday
do.
is June 8th, and
Yeah, that's what you have to do to Geminis.
I mean that lady, boy, I tell you what, it's like pulling teeth. Some days she'll be so nice, and then the
Yeah.
next person show up. Her
Yeah,
You
same
know they
show
say
up.
it's two of them in
I
one.
understand that
Two
because
of them in there. Yeah. Okay.
I do
Yeah.
have that other side as well. And my kids say the same thing. You one way one today, and then the next day you're another way. And I say, well, this America, and I have the right to change my mind. And
Yeah.
so
And I'm a
sometimes
woman.
and I'm a woman, and I'm going to change my mind. But you've been with
Exactly.
me for a certain amount of time, so you should know who I am. So,
Mhm.
By now, you've been around
by
me
now,
long
yeah,
enough.
by now, so just get
Right.
used to it. And my daughter also said, you need to change. No, ma'am, I'm not changing.
No,
You should
you need to be
conform.
yourself. Yeah, you
Yeah,
need to be
yeah,
yourself.
I'm not gonna change. So what you're gonna have to do is conform.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
You
And
know,
that's
my sister is a Gemini, and I used to just think she had split personalities. I never understood what was going on. Hey, Miss Morningstar,
Hey,
welcome,
gorgeous.
honey.
Hey everybody. I'm sorry
Hey
for
now.
being late. Hello everyone.
hello, Miss Morningstar.
Good evening, you guys. How are you all?
Oh,
Good, good,
We're
I,
doing good.
I'm
Doing
doing
good.
great. Yeah, I
Good.
can't complain.
Good evening, chat. Okay, I'm gonna go on mute. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I said what I said. It's good to see you, sis. Go ahead. I said what I
Yeah,
said.
and thank you guys for inviting me to your
Of
chat.
course. Of
Is that
course.
is
Hmm.
that noise from my am I having feedback?
When you speak is when
When
I
you
hear it.
speak, yeah, it's a
When
little click. It's clicking.
it's clicking? Okay, give me 1 second.
Sure. You know, we're learning this technology, honey. If we do nothing else, we're gonna learn this technology.
The children teach us. Is that not crazy? Because
That's so true, though.
my little cousin, and I'm talking child, not 8 or 9. I'm talking 2-year old. You see them on the phone. His little thumb kept swiping on the thing till he found the little cartoon he wanted to watch. I said, "Would you look at this? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all they had to do was see it one time, and because they're sponges, so
yeah."
they're gonna show us. I was
Exactly.
thinking all I had to do was bring Blake in, and he would have fixed everything when I was having technical difficulties. Because they do it. The kids can do it.
Yeah. When I
They
first got
absolutely can. The kids do know
the
what they're
children
doing when
pick
it
up.
comes to technology.
They do, but
Yeah.
this is their error.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my mid teens when we started getting the internet, and yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
a teenager when we got the internet, and we had beepers, and cell phones came in a big bag like this. My daddy had a big bag that he carried around.
I
It's like,
had
what is that?
my little car phone bag. I had one.
Car
I don't
phone
know what
bag,
car I
yes.
had, but I had one. Me and T Wiz had one.
T
We
Wiz had
had
a
a
car
big.
Hmm.
phone bag too.
Mm-hmm. Her and Preza was talking about it. They had that little bag, the car phone, the first car phones, came in the bag. You plug it up in the
To
car.
your cigarette lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Morningstar doesn't know anything about that. She's 10 years younger than me, so she look at her. She's like,
I bet she had a Nokia though.
I had a Nokia now. Don't even, I did
That
have
of
them
course you did.
with the big back.
Of course you
that square
did.
phone. The
So
All
what do,
right.
square
what do you
one.
guys think about like all the AI that's going around? Because that's a big technology thing too now, and it seemed like it's a lot of it to learn and to take in from different platforms. So what do you guys think about that? How do you think that's gonna help us out in society? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good for what it's if it's used correctly. When it first
Yeah.
came out, they were doing all these fake videos of, tricking
People.
people, saying such and such
Hmm.
said this, look, here's a video. If you can't look at it and tell it's AI, something is wrong with you. But I think they're going to get better to where it's more realistic. And
I'll
as
be right
long as
back.
that
Hmm.
is controlled, it'll be okay. But
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
having so much AI, like if you got Chat GPT and it can help you do what you need to do for your business or something like that, then use it for that. But when they use it for wrong, because I think Elon is trying to buy like some OP AI something, it's going to be in the wrong
Yeah.
hands. Once you
Okay.
get in the wrong
Yeah.
hands, then you know it's going to be used for craziness. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it's just
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
the internet also, you can use it for good or bad or evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about what you do with it.
Right.
I wanted to address what's going on with the administration. And I heard you guys talking about, everything that's, one of you guys said every day when you wake up is, I think that was Yvonne, is something new. And
Something new,
so,
breaking news every day.
yeah, it's always breaking news. And it's always going to be that way with him because first of all, he like chaos.
You
And
like attention too.
yeah, he loves attention. He likes chaos, but the chaos also gives him an opportunity for the deflection of
Mm-hmm.
what he's really doing. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, what the plan is really to try to take all the funds from all these government entities, like the Department of Education, the housing,
Of
uh,
course.
just different various departments that's within the government. If you remove all the funding from them, and say that it's a waste and it's overreaching, it's a waste, and then what they're going to try to do is they're trying to stack up as much money as they can for the tax breaks
Mm-hmm.
for the wealthy. So they're
Mm-hmm.
going to take from it's going to be like a Robin Hood thing. They're going to take from
In
the poor
reverse.
and give to the rich.
Exactly. A
And
reverse
so,
Robin Hood situation.
yeah, that's basically what the plan is. And
Yeah.
so they keep doing, they sow chaos so that it's a deflection, so
It's a
the people
game of
are
deflection.
to what they're
Mm-hmm.
really trying to get done.
Hmm.
And also, I feel like that they're trying to break as many laws as they can break to see, what's really going to happen.
What
Now
they can get
That
away
let me
makes
with.
it
tell
get.
you this. Let me tell you this. I said what I said. That's exactly what he doing
Yeah,
because what Donald Trump knows how to do is play the court system.
Yep.
yeah.
And what he's
Yeah.
doing is, and he said it out of his mouth. He slip up and tell on himself all the time. So what he
Hmm.
said out of his mouth yesterday was, well, they asked him, well, do you trust the court system? He said, yeah. I mean, I trust the court system. I'm gonna abide by the court system. If they, turn it down, basically all I'm gonna do is appeal it. And
Yeah.
appeals take long. So
Years.
that was the key point right there. Appeals take long, so his supporters can say, "Oh, well, he's trying," and
Hmm.
the way they think, which is the cult. They think, "Well, he is fighting for us. He does care about us." These
The
are
Dems are
the
stopping them folks.
right. These are the windows that are happening. That's making them be stuck in this damn cult.
I mean,
And,
but they're
and
so they're so uninformed, ill-informed.
Yes.
But
the
here's my
urgency of it
question.
But it's
all,
on purpose, though. They do it on purpose. They
but
don't want to find out.
the urgency of it all is those tax breaks are getting ready to expire in
Mm-hmm.
July.
Yeah, that's what that
Mm-hmm.
is.
Yeah.
So that's why you guys see chaos every day. That's why there is such a big carry
It's
to try to,
definitely a
break
setup.
everything up. Because
It
if
is.
those tax breaks expire, then you'll have to go back to Congress and try to get them reauthorized, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you just get them reauthorized and you come up with the money, then the government, the Senate, the House and the Senate don't have to come up with new laws and new bills. But
Mhm.
also, and I watched AOC, and that's the reason why I know that's what the plan is. She
Mm-hmm.
also
Mhm.
said that not only are they going to try to keep the same tax breaks that he had, but they're going to try to add on more
Yeah,
tax.
absolutely. Let's take a
Yeah.
quick break, you guys. Let's go ahead and take a quick break and then we'll come right back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection. I'm here with my co host, Miss Morningstar, our guest, Mrs. Jack, who handles all of our mental health, and our special guest, Yvonne Moore. And I said what I said. We will be right back after this beautiful message. And we are back. Again, you're listening to Our Plugs, the community connection. I'm here with my co host, Miss Morningstar, our special guest, Mrs. Jack. She handles all of our mental health and our keeping our mental prepared and right for what's coming. And our special guest, Yvonne. And I said what I said. We were talking about politics, and you said you were listening to AOC. And Miss Morningstar, you did mention, this is what his plan is.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, if he keeps the courts tied up, okay, does that mean that whatever he's proposed continues, or does that put a halt to it?
It puts a halt to it. So, like right now, I'm a federal employee. And right now, the things that are happening that were being proposed to us is on hold.
Good.
It's not being pursued like until they come up with some type of judgment on it. So right now they can't pursue any of those things. Only thing that can be pursued right now is he did put the EO order in for telework to be terminated. So, they have some people, supervisors coming back into the office and can't work from home any longer, but it's not everybody. And there are stipulations behind that. So everybody's not going to just, lose their job or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Good. Because I think they do so many things without thinking. That's one of them. Everybody doesn't have a car. Everybody doesn't have the
Yeah.
ability for daycare.
It
The
Miss Jack,
telework,
it wasn't about that. It was just pure evil. It wasn't
it was
about
revenge. He's
it
on a revenge
wasn't
tour.
it,
Yeah.
it was nothing about, oh, this they're not doing the work. He has no numbers. He has no
I know.
statistics.
I know.
I've been a program analyst in my position for a long time. He has no data, trust me. So it's just him being evil and also wanted to get some real estate going for his millionaire buddies so they can get those government contracts.
Wow.
Yeah. And the fact that
What
he's
about
trying to get rid of ethics and doing away with, corruption. He's all the laws and the bills that will keep
Education.
everything.
Dumb as some
Everything
people are, they need the Department of Education.
yeah?
as
America is
special and
operating
delayed
on
as
an eighth
folks are.
grade education, really. Honestly,
Is it eighth grade or
Adam,
less?
they're operating on an eighth grade education. But Miss Morningstar, I wanted to ask you, was it a lot of people that bought that drank the Kool-Aid and actually took the buyout?
Well, there was some people that did, but I don't know them personally. Most of the people that I know were like, yeah, delete. But majority, like the ones that I think, and this is just my prediction, that they're either retiring this year or they're close to retirement. So they were like, hey, I'm just get my benefits and get out of here because I don't possibly want to even deal with this fool. That's how I see it. But there might have been some people who were drinking the Kool-Aid, and I wouldn't have done that because number one, we are still waiting on budget. In March, we're supposed to get some sort of budget, maybe, if the government doesn't shut down. But Congress needs to vote on the budget. And once Congress votes on the budget, then they send the budgets out to the different agencies in the government. And that's how we know how much money we have for the fiscal year.
Well,
Until you don't, how can you promise money to people
if you don't even know?
If you don't know what
But
the budget is going to look like.
have they ever even done that before? I've never heard of the federal government offering an
never
incentive to
happened
quit.
before. This
Ever.
is the
No,
first.
we are in the
It's the
year
first.
of a bunch of stuff that has never happened before because we never
the
had
year of
somebody like this
insanity.
before.
Yeah, because I thought corporations offered packages, not the government.
Yes.
This is new. Well, that the rumor is that he would love to change the federal government to the private sector, and that's
Yeah.
for him to try to get more money.
It's
Right
like a shadow
now,
government. It's like they're trying to do a shadow government. They got
exactly.
their little government over here that's running everything in the other part of the government. So it's almost like they're trying to create this shadow government that has control over everything.
You can't do that with veterans.
So
They serve
You
the
can't.
United States. They serve the United States. You can't strip them and make them have to get private insurance and
Right.
go. That's
No.
Isn't it against the
ridiculous.
But
law?
wait,
yeah.
I
hold
didn't work.
on.
I didn't go to the military for that long to have to pay for any
So
type of federal
I don't know.
private insurance. Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys heard this, but last night they are trying to strip. They want an all-white military.
Yeah, I heard
Oh
that.
yes, I heard that. Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
First
Go
of all,
for it.
Yeah. In your face.
First of
He's like
all-
doing this shit in your face. Like
we all trying to talk at the
Jesus.
same time. First
Listen,
of
ladies,
all,
I know we passionate, but we got to talk one
Sorry.
at a time. Everybody,
One at a
we got to talk one at a time. Go ahead.
first of all, they can't even fight. let's say that shit first. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse, but they can't fight. That's number one. So I don't want Billy Bob and his homeboy Jethro protecting me. I'm gonna have to come up off the couch and protect myself. If Billy Bob shows up, and says that he's here to protect, I'm gonna have
The Call of Duty warriors. I don't want them
Call of
couch
Duty
potatoes.
warriors.
The scary, scared of their own shadow. Protect them. No.
I'll just somebody else take it because that's all I can think is they can't fight.
I saw
wanna
where
know-
a general said that he was so mad. He said it's just effing racist. He said they might as well write a sign that says Black people, it's not safe to apply. He said that's what y'all are making it seem like we're trying to remove DEI from the military. Sir, diversity, you're supposed to have all types of races in the military. Equity, you better treat them equally unless they have different ranks and then they have different responsibilities. And then inclusion, how you not including it? They just want to exclude LGBTQ plus community and anybody that's Black and brown. They're
Mm-hmm.
Well,
gonna
are
have
they
the
trying to get
biggest
rid of the?
mediocre military ever.
Are they trying to get rid of the experienced people like they tried to do? Like they're trying to get rid of the experienced people in the government?
Yes, yes. You
Yes.
saw that they were trying to replace
Yeah.
the chiefs, the
Generals.
generals that are in charge. They're trying to say, hey, y'all aren't really qualified. Mind you, they've been in 30 years. They are well overqualified. And what they don't understand is you can't just come in the military.
No.
Regardless of what race you are, you cannot just come in. There is no DEI that will get you allowed into the military. You have to go through basic training. You have to go through AIT. You have to pass. You have to
These
be
people
physically.
can't fight.
You
Did
have
I
to.
say that?
You got to be able to jump and shoot all at the same time. You can't
Well,
just fake it until you
when they
make it in the
enter,
military.
when they enter in, they're mostly young anyway. So you're gonna have to have the experience to teach them what
Mm-mm.
it is they need to know. So
Let's
the
just
just
let's just call a thing.
They
That
can't
ain't
fight.
they can't fight, and that ain't
They
gonna
can't fight.
happen. And they
right.
know it. They know it. They know that they need us just like they need us for everything else.
Target.
They need that strength, that guts, that
They're gonna
non
walk it
the
back.
fear. They need
They're
it.
gonna walk it
Mm-hmm.
back.
You think they're gonna walk it back?
They're gonna
They
walk it
walk
back
back
Yeah.
everything else.
in
Yep.
a
They just
Yeah.
couple
They're gonna
months.
they're
walk that
just doing
back.
yeah, they're just doing it just to
This
be
What
is
they're
just to
doing?
show
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
ugly that they can be. But
They're just
here's my
throwing out
thing.
concepts. It's concepts everywhere.
Concepts.
No
Concepts are the
plan,
plan.
no type of plan at all, at all. Just throwing stuff out. And I think that why they're doing it is because it's a big distraction of what Elon Musk is doing
Stealing.
to these agencies. They
Stealing.
are
Mm-hmm.
robbing us blind.
Stealing.
So you're gonna put out this crazy story about this so we can all pay attention to this over here while the cannibal Elon over there in the basement
Mm-hmm.
sifting through everything and stealing our money and robbing us blind.
We
did
need to
y'all
talk to his son because the
okay.
little
Huh.
boy been in everything. He been
Wait
in
a
every
minute.
meeting.
And he tell the truth.
And he
Did
tell the
y'all hear
truth.
what he said to Trump? He told him to
Uh-huh.
shut
Shut
the F
the
up.
F
Yeah,
up.
I heard
Shut,
that.
he looked
And
But
the
at
he
boy is
fought.
how
He
shut
old?
started
the
with you
F
ain't the
up.
real. He said you ain't the real president.
Right.
He said
And
you
you
are not
know,
the real
babies
president.
don't just be coming that they be telling the truth because they didn't heard somebody say that.
How
Exactly.
old is
Hmm.
he?
He
Like
about
4 or 5?
four.
Exactly.
He about 3 or 4. He little.
He's a parrot. He's a parrot. He's repeating what he's heard
That's why
his
he's on
daddy
his
say.
shoulder. He's a
Yep.
parrot. He's on his shoulder like a parrot,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
soaking it
guys,
in.
what do you guys think about? Because I'm trying to figure all of this out, and I don't want to keep turning the corner, but I have to turn the corner because I don't understand why all these planes keep crashing, running into each other, coming down. You know, we had a plane come down today, right?
Today,
Yeah.
Yeah, in San Diego.
San Diego,
I
military.
think the first one.
Military. Yeah, and
I
what's
think
up with that? I thought the military was the most experienced and careful pilots there were. I thought they were more
there was a
qualified than
report.
normal pilots.
There was a report on it, and they one of the reports, um, and it did fall back on Doofus because he fired so many people. So they have one guy in there trying to control
Mm-hmm.
like so many things. And
Okay.
so they said that the military helicopter, something didn't go off, some kind of signal they didn't get back in
Mm-hmm.
return to see if it was clear. Granted, you should have seen it still, but when things are coming fast, it comes fast. So it
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of, crazy because that should never have happened. I don't even know why a military helicopter was over on a civilian tarmac.
That's what a lot of people are asking. What was the military helicopter doing over there?
It
Why
depends
would a
on the
military
training, whatever training they were
at
doing.
night? Well,
Because
yeah, it's
yeah,
black
we
box,
do
so
night training. We
yeah,
did a
night
lot of night
training.
training. Yeah.
And
So
then
you
I
don't feel
haven't
like
even
it's purposely? It,
No.
it feels like
no.
all of this is purpose done. I know he fired a lot of
No.
I
FAA.
hope not. I'm
No,
just
I
gonna
don't think
say
it was
that.
purpose because they've been happening sporadic all over
Mm-mm.
the country, but
No, not
it
sporadic.
seems like it's too
Hey,
big of a
It's
coincidence. So
like
I know why
this
you
is what
say
number
that.
5, number 6.
Yeah.
yeah, this is
Wow.
like an everyday thing now. So what I'm asking is, has it always been this way and they just wasn't reporting it on the news and it's just more prevalent now because they don't want to report on Agent Orange, or is this just something new? Because I'm trying to figure out, like, Are you trying to take Americans? I mean, what are you trying to do?
According to Oligo in the comments, he said the helicopter was in the wrong airspace.
Mm. And that's a military training helicopter. So,
And
So
so
they
he
were
did not
training.
know he was in the wrong space. So whoever was flying the helicopter did not know. You're in the military. You're flying a military helicopter, and you did not know that you were in the wrong space.
Well,
mm,
you got to look at it like this. Possibly there's been some cuts. Some people are maybe going AWOL. We don't know everything that's
We
happening.
don't.
Hmm.
and
A
it
lot of
was training.
people don't want to serve under this person. So there could be a
Oh,
lot going on where people maybe they're short staffed or we really don't know the full stories. I don't want to make an assumption, but I
yeah.
know right now I don't feel safe flying and I won't be flying because I
I
just don't
won't.
feel safe flying. I don't feel
Me
like,
neither.
and I love flying. I'm not a scary person when it comes to flying. I don't, I prefer that, but I won't be.
And my
Yeah.
thing, just a caveat. Am I echoing? Feel like I'm echoing.
No.
Just a caveat off of what Miss Morningstar said. The crazy part is we don't know what happened. We still
Yeah.
haven't gotten like clear reports. And the one thing you should never do as a president is get your full self on the internet and make an assumption of what happened and who was in charge. We have never had nothing like this.
DEI.
How reckless of a man are you that you get on there and blame it on DEI? Come to find out it was white pilot. Everybody on there was white. Almost, I believe.
Yeah.
And you
The military
run it back.
helicopter. Yes. They
Yes,
were all white.
and you, God forbid, you come out and apologize because then, oh, I'm wrong. But that's not what you do. That's so unpresidential to come and blame people the same day of
And
when
they lost
nobody
their
has done it.
lives. You know,
And
Right.
it's not
like they
just that,
mentioned.
not that he was just blaming somebody. It's just like you didn't even say
Also,
like you didn't make any condolences to the people who lost their lives.
mm-hmm,
Like you made it political, and that was not the time to make that type of situation political, dude. Your
mm-mm.
people lost their lives,
Yes.
and you come on there with your raggedy retarded self and blame it on
Wow.
DEI.
You see what T
It's
Wiz put in
too
in the
much.
comments. The
Oh, FAA.
FASA was cut, so normal notifications are not sent.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's a
but
lot.
the whole thing about it is though, I know Miss Morningstar said that she's afraid to fly, or not afraid, but have a raised eyebrow about flying
I don't feel safe. Yeah.
and don't feel safe about it. But the whole thing
Mhm.
about it, I don't feel safe with a plane going over my house at this point.
I don't feel safe
Because
with
at any point,
none of it.
whether you on the plane or not on the plane, it feels like everybody's in jeopardy because you never know where it's gonna come down and when, and where it's gonna land. So I don't feel safe on or off a plane at this point.
You got to look up in
You're
the
right.
air when you step out the house. You got to look around. You got to listen. I
I'm
mean,
laying in bed and I'm thinking
we
that's a little close.
we living in a very he's putting a very paranoia feeling
Yes.
in everybody.
Yes. That's the
And
biggest. I don't feel safe with this president.
it's
That's what
just a
starts it all.
it's just a reminder of what we had with him before. Remember?
I'm
Waking up every
excited.
morning thinking
On edge.
what this fool said today. Who,
Yeah.
because we don't want people to attack us. So what he didn't said that's ignorant is gonna set somebody off,
That
Yeah,
I'm about to
no,
just steal Gaza. I ain't even gotta, I'm just gonna steal it and build
Like
don't
stuff
people ain't
on it and
there.
push
don't
them
have
people
no
out there.
filter.
Did you
No.
guys see how Netanyahu was looking at him when he said that?
Yes.
Did you look at the body language of Netanyahu, the way he was
Because he's
looking
looking at
like,
him
what is
like,
this? I
dude.
can't believe this guy's saying this.
But the
Okay,
saddest
black
part
woman.
about it is he didn't want to be president again. He's just trying to stay out of prison. So
Yep.
now he's sitting behind that desk like a little kid with his
Mhm.
hands crossed and folded, and he's got a little kid sticking his fingers up his nose, digging out for
Put
gold.
boogers all over the over.
Okay, and he's telling him he needs to shut.
I
You're
was
not the president. You need to shut the f
I was
up.
cheering on
And
the baby. I said, wipe it on his coat. Wipe it on his face.
And he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it, but he knows that if he had lost and Elania hadn't got up in the Starlink and the little boy said he did something, I don't know, because the little boy's a snitch.
The little boy
If he hadn't done that, if he hadn't done that, he'd have his ass in a cell talking to Bubba, trying to convince Bubba not to touch him. Okay,
I'm not Bubba.
I don't want to be your boyfriend. I don't want to do it. Exactly.
Well, I know one person that's not afraid of him, and that's Letitia James. You know, she launched a lawsuit against him and the administration against Doge yesterday, for them passing out everybody's personal data.
So, is there a class action lawsuit?
Hakeem Jeffries had made a report and a statement saying that they were going to not sue, but do an investigation into them getting our data. And Letitia James was already in court fighting the federal. Was she the one that did the federal freeze? She's been on a roll. So I think she's in conjunction with trying to, get them to understand that this was our personal information and you weren't supposed to give it to anyone.
She's suing them. She's suing
you
them.
Hear it?
She's doing.
I do. I hear an echo, you guys.
It's basically what she's doing. She's suing them instead of a class action lawsuit. It's like she's suing the whole Trump administration for giving out private info, the Americans' private information. But I take my hat off to Letitia because she's not afraid of him, none whatsoever. And I feel like, and it's not only her, it's 12 other AGs along with her.
It's 22.
Administration.
It's 22. I said what I said.
It's 22 now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Jasmine Crockett.
Absolutely. But I also heard that, at the state level, and if, somebody in the state of, a blue state, if you're listening, hey, how y'all doing? At the
good
state
over
level, he can't pardon anyone. So if anybody wants to
state crimes, that's correct.
If anybody wants to charge Elonia at the state level, problem solved. I'm just saying. Hey, how y'all doing? If y'all listening, if you out there listening, state level, you can charge him. He can't pardon him. Problem solved.
And again, y'all thought the problem was giving our information to TikTok. Y'all really had a whole hearing and went to the Supreme Court about TikTok getting our information, and you just willy-nilly handed it over to a South African unelected clown. Really?
Miss Morningstar, what are you calling? Miss Morningstar, come on off mute. I can't hear you, sis. Go ahead.
I call him an African booty scratcher. And that ain't derogatory towards my people. That's him because he infiltrating. He's not even African. He is a colonizer.
He's a colonizing booty
scratcher. He's a colonizer.
And if you think about it
as well,
he's trying to colonize over here.
He is.
If you really think about it, he's doing the same thing over here, or he's trying to. Mm-hmm. But if anyone at the state level, Letitia,
get him, girl.
Elania is acting up, and he's broken many crimes in 3 weeks, if not more, because it sounds like he may have broken he broke some rules in November. But at the state level, Fat Nixon can't pardon him, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. That's all I'm gonna say. He broke some
voting machines too, didn't he?
He broke some things weren't right. Some things were not right in all of this. And they want us to sit back and just be like, oh, well, we'll be okay. We're just going to have to hunker down. No, I want, if it were Biden and Hunter Biden doing the same thing, they set the whole country on fire.
But what does that say? What does that say about the state that we are in? because we haven't had such lawlessness to this extent so far. It's like we don't really know what to do with it. It's like nobody knows if can we get him arrested? Can he really do this? Can we go stand and block the doors so they can't do this? Like nobody seems to know the proper plan except fighting it in court and
And us.
getting in here to talk about it. Right.
Us. Do y'all need my number? If y'all are listening, call me. Because I will walk y'all right through it. Because number one, there's no way a 19, 18, 25-year-old can walk in my office with a flash drive and tell me anything. I'm grabbing him by the shirt and I'm escorting him out. I don't need security. Get up out of here.
Get up out of here. You're not here. We grown. It's grown folks' business. These people personal information. So if we have a security breach and somebody hacks the U.S. Treasury, we know where it came from.
We know where it came from.
Well,
and people are saying, go ahead. I said what I said.
Tulsi Gabbard, or whatever her name is, she was confirmed today.
Mm-hmm.
That's another hot mess.
So we're going to be in trouble anyway with our national security because she's going to be ahead of it. So, I mean, you putting all of these people in charge that's not qualified or that's partially infiltrated or a drunk or just way too young to run,
Or an agent
agency that you put them in charge of. And it appears that, I don't know, guys, but it just, and I'm just on the outside looking in, but it appears that they're really trying to set him up so they can throw him out. It's like they're allowing him to do everything and anything. And I don't know if they're going to wait for because we're in a constitutional crisis, whether people know it or not.
We are.
We're in the beginning stages of a constitutional crisis.
Yep.
And it appears that they're just trying to allow him to do whatever he want to do, however he want to do it, and then they're going to throw that 25th Amendment on me, or the 25th Amendment, and get him out of there.
I said what I said. Are you referring to the Republicans that are allowing him to do what he's doing? You're referring to the Republican Party. Okay.
I think they want JD Vance in charge.
They do. They want JD Vance.
And he don't know what to do, and they can run JD Vance better than they can run Agent Orange.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say.
So where does he run?
1 second. Let me say this. I said what I said. Now, I was thinking the same way, like we're in a crisis. And I think somebody need to mute your mics because somebody's giving echo back. Okay.
I think it's Yvonne's mic.
But I don't hear it anymore now, so we good. But I listen to Lawrence O'Donnell. I like Lawrence O'Donnell. He makes so much sense, and he's so smart. He comes on MSNBC at night. I think pretty much we all know who that is. And he said the reason he's not jumping on that it's a constitutional crisis is because that system of court and what Donald Trump said when the reporter asked him about how will he respect what the judges say, he says, yes, I respect the judges. I'll just have to appeal it. Now, he never concedes to anything, but he actually stated a fact. I'll just appeal it. And appealing it takes a long time. So all this rubbish you trying to push through that's unconstitutional is being blocked by actual constitutional judges and federal judges that are like, no, you can't do this. You out of your damn mind. They blocking him. So it's not so much of a constitutional crisis just yet. It's the stuff that actually gets passed. Then we can start saying, okay, they breaking the Constitution laws, because right now with that hard stop, he can't do nothing. He can't do nothing right now.
No,
I agree with that.
It's just been a show. It's been a show of force because one thing he's trying to do, he has to keep his base riled up, right?
Yep.
So he has to do things to make them seem like, hey, I gave you all these campaign promises. I am trying my hardest one by one to enforce them. And like you said earlier, yes, it's sleight of hand. Look over here while we do something over here. So the look over here is him doing all these useless executive orders. But the while we do this over here is funneling money, taking money
Stealing.
from stuff and stealing and plotting against the United States. That's his whole MO.
Yeah, thieves. And it's been like this, he did the same thing the first 4 years, and then we've all, if you pay attention, that person will show you who they are. So we've paid attention and now we see, okay, why is he doing all this? It's insane. You can't do it. The courts are going to stop him from doing it. Why would even waste your time? But just like you said, it's so they can go in and have these children go in here and steal our money. And again, by the collar. I need people to start enacting that. And also, my American citizens, my brothers and sisters out there, I need you guys to hear me clearly. Belt to behind. That gentle parenting, that don't work, okay? If it's belt to behind, kids understand, okay, I'm not going to do that because when I get off the school bus, my mama's going to be waiting on me or my daddy's going to be waiting on me. Now, I never condone beating a child, but laying across the bed and get you 2 or 3 swaps across the behind and get you some act right always helps, okay?
Some act right.
You start them while they're young. Now, you can't tell a 16-year-old to lay across the bed and they done stole your car and cussed you out. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. You might have to knuckle up, knuck if you buck. I don't know because mine have had belted behind and ain't none of mine, knock on wood, thank you Jesus, been to prison. Okay, because mommy nor Nana plays that belt to behind. I'm just saying. And Trump really needed belt to behind. Elania needs belt to behind, and that little ex-demon seed. Let me bring him here. Come here.
Did you see how bold the little boy was
in his
to
face.
Walk around and get in grown-up's face? And he walked over there and told Dump Stank what he said, cursed at that man, and walked back to his daddy
and
twice.
said the F word.
He said, F you, sir. Like, you ain't the real president. Come on, I'd have beat him around that damn office on national TV.
I'm surprised he's not banned from the office at this point, telling Agent Orange that information. And the look on Morning Star's face, I would not want her to be my mom and get in trouble, because I think I probably will walk the fine line. Just the looks, yeah, she got that look like my mom,
honey, because that's all you
got
gotta do. All you got when they know, they know. All you gotta do is give them a look.
Yeah.
Yes.
That mouth
Yes.
that baby had.
Yes.
I can't even fathom.
That's how you do it.
And we know babies repeat. They
do.
They tape recorders, and he didn't did it before, but they act like they didn't hear him. They heard him.
I mean, the little boy
heard him real good.
The little boy is technically a parent because he's sitting on his daddy's shoulder all the time. So he's technically a parent. And so what do parents do? They listen and repeat. So he's heard it from his daddy, I'm quite sure. But what boggles my mind is how Dump Stank is what you call him, sat in his desk like this, y'all, defeated and didn't say anything. You're supposed to be the president of the United States, and you just let a 4-year-old punk you.
You're sitting there at the head of your own household, you're looking like the hell.
But that's his mentality, though. He acts like a 4-year-old, so he understands that. So it didn't. That's why it didn't offend him.
Yeah,
that's the way he acts anyway. He acts like a 4-year-old. So,
and we got to remember too. Barron probably been cussing him out his whole life. So
right.
All about
they probably cuss him out all the time. So he just ignoring it. He just. He's a child. He's a petulant child.
And I'm sorry, but Barron reminds me of Damien Omian. He looks like that guy for real. I'm scared of Barron. He looks real creepy to me. He looks real scary.
Barron gonna do something. We got to watch him. Keep your eye on Barron.
Yvonne, you still with us, honey?
I'm here. I'm just listening.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you do have a bit of an echo, but I just wanted to get your take on the 4-year-old demon seed telling the president of the United States to shut the F up.
I don't know. But all I know is that that kid has heard that before. And like, I think Morningstar said that he heard it from Elon. He has heard Elon say that before. And Elon has probably really has said that to Trump. Like, shut the F up.
You know
I,
who else
I,
is saying it?
I hmm?
You know who else is saying it? Everybody on the news, everybody on social media, every news report that you see and you scroll, you see everybody say, "Who is the real president?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure that Elon has said and that he's really the president. Because where else would this kid even come up with the concept of forming that thought to say that
At 4.
at the age of 4? Where is he getting that concept, that thought to even, say that? He's heard it from his parent. He's heard it before
And where's
from his
his
dad.
mammy? Where's his mama at?
Not his mammy.
His mama, which I don't know who he belonged to, because don't Elon got like 12 different baby
Yeah,
mamas or something? So
yeah.
I don't know which one
Yeah,
this one is. Who
just saying.
knows?
Mm, mm,
Who
mm.
So
knows?
we're about to
Oh,
wrap the show. We got 7 minutes left, but I'm gonna say this, before we say our final words. So we got let me get this straight. We got a quote unquote president with 3 baby mamas, 5 kids, 4 or 5 kids, whatever, 3 baby mamas. And 2 of the baby mamas were immigrants that technically should be deported. Okay. So we got the president, quote unquote, with 3 baby mamas that are immigrants,
pause.
5 kids. Okay.
Did y'all see some balloons go up behind your head?
Yes, ma'am. We saw the balloons. And
Did,
then we have the vice president who wears eyeliner and hunches couches.
I'm dead. I am totally dead right now. I swear to God, that whole administration is like the children of the corn. They are the children of the corn. I'm dead. I'm dead.
But wait, I'm not done. I'm not done. Then we have the the boyfriend to the president who got 11 or 12 childrens. One who is 4 years old that he puts on his shoulder and carries around with him like a parrot, who just told the president with the 3 baby mamas and the 5 kids, and 2 of the baby mamas are immigrants, to shut the F up. MAGA, don't you ever tell us about him being a strong man ever again. That is a weak man who wanted to stay out of prison, and he's sitting there getting dog walked by a 4-year-old. Okay. All right. I had to get that off my chest. I just had to, because this is what y'all voted for, and you get what you get, and you don't have a fit. This is America. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection, brought to you by WKRA 92.7 and WHGE 95.3 FM. This has been a great evening. Mrs. Jack, let's start with you. Any last words before we end the show?
yes, I have one last little quote. You cannot change someone who doesn't see an issue in their actions. And much like our president, he never sees an issue in his actions. So what do you do with those type of people? You meet them where they are. You leave them where they are, and you continue on with your day. Don't let nobody ruin your day.
That's right. Yvonne, any last words?
Yeah, sure. I just want everybody to really, take care of your mental during these times, because you can find yourself being very angry If you keep watching the stuff every day over and over, take a mental break from it. Step away from it for a couple of days and go out and do something fun with your family, and take some time to yourself. Go pray, spend some time with the Lord. Just stay to yourself and just stay away from all of this craziness. So you got to take care of your mental so that you can be mentally fit to take care of your family when the shit really hits the fan. So you got to be
Absolutely.
mentally strong. Hmm.
Absolutely. Thank you, Yvonne. I said what I said. Any last words, hon?
Yes, I want to give a Black history fact. Dr. Rebecca Crumpler became the first Black female physician in the United States, and she earned her medical degree from the New England Female Medical College in 1864. So, if she can become great in a time of horrible, horrific um, conditions, that let us know, even with Agent Orange in office, we can still achieve our goals, not
Absolutely.
become too discouraged, and just just roll up our sleeves and do what we can, like Yvonne said, to keep our mental health together. But also, whatever you started, continue to do that, because this trouble won't last always. And just try to stay away from the fray and away from the noise. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pay attention to the main things, the important things, and all the rest of it, I'm gonna just, let it roll off my back.
Absolutely. I love that. I said what I said. And I agree with you 1,000%. Let it roll off my back. It's not important. Mrs. Morningstar, any last words, hon?
Thank you guys for coming and being part of the show today. We appreciate you. I know I was a little bit tad bit late, but I still thoroughly enjoyed having you guys here. It was a great evening, great conversation. Just some girlfriends having a good time talking politics is what it felt like tonight. So, yes, all those advices, keep your head clean, stay focused, keep your eye on the prize, keep your ears to the street, know what's going on, but also take some time away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will end with this. Life is short. You know, you get up every day, you have your family, you have your friends, you have the people that you care about. You go to work, you come home, you do it over and over. Life is extremely short, and you have to take the time to slow down. Whether that's calling in sick one day because you know what? I'm just going to take this day to just be okay with me. We have all experienced some form of trauma living in these great United States, air quotes. We deal with the ugliness of this country. We deal with the uh, knowing that we had a qualified woman and we had the opportunity to have a much better outcome. However, this country has reminded us just how they are. But we are the United States. And when I say united, I'm not just speaking of one nationality. It takes all of us to make the world go round. That is why we have our plugs. That is why we started our plugs, because we know that not just one group of people can do this. I invite all races to join that are minority races. Um, and I know I hear some of my white counterpart female friends say, hey, but I'm not a minority. Ma'am, you are a female. You are a minority. You're just white. That's all. You are more than welcome to join. There's a lot going on, there's a lot happening, but united, we can get through all of this. Get connected. Join today. Get a general membership. If you have a business, you're more than welcome to join. We do a spotlight every Friday. So join us and let's connect, and let's not let the ugliness of this world divide us. That's his main goal, and let's not let him win. I want to thank Yvonne, and I said what I said, for coming up. You're more than welcome to come on up and we can do girlfriends politics once again. I loved tonight. It was fun. It was engaging. We all were trying to talk at once because we all have so much to say because there's just so much going on. But I'd love to have you two back if you'd come back. Um, so the door is open. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty. That is my co-host, Mrs. Morningstar, and our sister, Mrs. Jack, along with our guests. Thank you for showing up tonight. We appreciate you all. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you on Friday at 6:30. Take care, you guys. Life is too short to not live. So go live.